So before we start today's reading, I will quickly summarize yesterday's chapter so that it will be easy for people who could not join yesterday to connect. It will be easier to connect. So we have this the chapter name that we yesterday read is Lead Yourself. So something to lead is for everyone. Even though nothing else, then at least we are supposed to lead ourselves to the best possible manner. That is what actually is the summary. And we have read like leadership begins with personal responsibility. Everyone is responsible for leading something, even it's just themselves. That is what actually I was telling. Blaming external factors, especially a difficult boss, is a common excuse, but an obstacle to growth that we have read yesterday and seen. And then we have also seen that danger of the hall pass mentality that we discussed, right? Like at a time, like how children give this hall pass excuse. Similarly, parents means not parents, actually adults also behave in a similar manner and give the excuse that I am not responsible. Then we have also discussed about how boss is not controlling our thoughts, emotions, or action. Your boss does not control your thoughts, emotions, and actions, but you do. Leadership is about influencing yourself first before impacting others. This line actually, particularly, is very important, and I really liked that we are responsible for our own emotion, our own action, and own thought process. Then some of the actionable steps that I have already said in the group were, number one is stop blaming and start acting. So reflect on any complaint about leadership in your environment. Instead of blaming, list 3 things you can proactively change today. We need to list 3 things that we can proactively change today, and that could be that might not be directly related to the leadership, but we as a leader, when think in that aspect, we will be able to find the solution to it. We will be taking more charge instead of being in a circle of concern. So I hope you all know about the circle of influence and circle of concern. So this is also related to that, wherein actually we can be in the circle of influence and grow that circle more and more. Second example step that I posted is take ownership of your actions and reactions. So for that, 2 things we can do. Every morning we can affirm I'm in charge of me. I'm in charge of myself. And before reacting negatively to a situation, pause and assess how I can respond as a leader. Very, very important. So, and that will automatically shift our reaction to response. That means the key here is to just pause for a while and assess that if I am a leader, then how I should be responding here. And that will bring a lot of difference in the way we generally react or act. Then third actionable point was shift from criticism to influence. Shift from criticism to influence. The point here is, instead of focusing on doing, focus on what you can do to create positive impact, even in small way. And when your author is saying about boss, it can be also changed to anyone in whom you think that is a showstopper, whom you think that is creating hurdles to you or your progress. Actually is not creating any hurdle. It is up to us actually So we might be actually thinking that it is that person for which actually I am not in a good mood or I am facing difficulty, but that is not the truth. And the fourth point was grow in your current role. So make a list of skills, habits, and leadership qualities you can develop within your current environment. Make a list of skills, habits, and leadership qualities you can develop within your current environment, regardless of external leadership constraints. This is also very important takeaway. We can list, maybe we can prepare the list and have it ready tomorrow.
The list of change we can make in the current situation and what leadership qualities we can practice, is that?
Yes. And for that, what skills are required? If it is there in us, we need to check. If it is not there, then how can we embrace or inculcate that skill? And once the skill is with us, then how I can make a habit of thinking that way, acting that way. Habit means repeatedly I should be doing the same same way of reacting. It is not one-time activity. Once we make a list, then we need to follow that till we become habituated. Then automatically we will be able to grow in our current role to the next role. Then the fifth takeaway was resist the hall pass mentality. Here what we need to do, we need to identify one area where I have excused inaction due to bad leadership. Commit to leading despite challenges. Maybe in our neighbor something is not going good or something is not happening right. So despite of those challenges, if I am creating or thinking that it is an excuse, that because of that person I am not happy or I am not growing, then that mentality is called hall pass mentality here, and we need to come out of it. And the sixth point was journal your leadership lesson. Each week, write down one key insight about leadership you have gained from your current work situation, whether from positive or negative examples. It may be a positive or negative circumstances or experience that we might get. From everything, actually, we can learn. And when we start to jot down those learnings, those leadership lessons, then they become a lifelong trait, and they become a lifelong treasure. So this is also very important. We can, and also if someone is not able to find anything, then at least from this book, whatever we are reading, from there also one key insight which you feel that it is very practical and can be embraced, that at least we can note it down. So here it is once in a week also is the target, so it is very easy to achieve. And the last takeaway was lead yourself first. Before expecting changes from others, asking ourselves two questions will help us. One is, am I taking responsibility for my actions? And second is, how can I lead myself more effectively today? Am I taking responsibility for my actions? It is not only actions, am I taking responsibility for my thoughts, actions, and in Hindi it is mansa, bacha, karmana. So what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, and how I'm acting. All the three things we need to ask, am I taking responsibility? If I'm not taking responsibility, then obviously for everything else, for everything that is happening to us, how I'm feeling, how I'm thinking, how I'm reacting, everything, we will keep on blaming others. So before that, we need to take a pause and ask. And when we ask, we take the responsibility instead of blaming others or situations. The second question was, how can I lead myself more effectively today? How can I lead myself more effectively today? So leading ourselves is the main thing. That is what actually yesterday we did. No? So how can I lead myself more effectively? That more and more we ask, that easier it would be to lead ourselves in the right path, to think ourselves also in the right path. The quote was, true leadership starts with personal accountability. Don't wait to be in charge to lead yourself today. So today we will be starting from here, misspelled expectations. So one of you can take the lead and start reading.
Yes, Vikashji, may I?
Sure, Sumanji.
Misplaced expectations. Too often, I hear younger leaders in our organization say, I'm just so frustrated because I can't find anyone to pour into me. This drives me bananas. I would rather have my head sewn to the carpet than hear someone complain. I can't find someone to pour into me. If you are not being led well, don't pass the buck. Maybe, just maybe, the reason you are not being led well is that you are not leading yourself well. Before you go and blame your manager, try applying the wisdom of the King of Pop. I am starting with the man in the mirror. I am asking him to change his ways. Personally, I can't read those lyrics without singing in my head. The point is that your greatest responsibility as a leader is to lead yourself. MJ didn't have everything right, but I think he had this right. If you want to see change, begin with the person in the mirror. One of my least favorite conversations in the church revolves around the concept of going deeper. Every few months, someone approaches me in the lobby after one of our services. They begin by telling me that I look like I have lost weight. I try not to spill the sarcasm everywhere. So I respond, well, thank you, but no, I have not. Now you seem to have a complaint. What concerns you? That is when they drop the bomb. Clay, I just don't feel like we are going deep enough. Hmm. Are we at scuba class or are we at church? I am a bit confused. Have you ever heard that before? We are not going deep enough. The correct response in this situation is a Christian move. Hmm. Tell me more. I try to have them clarify what they mean. Typically, I'll ask, what do you mean by going deep? And they say, well, I wish we could do a deep dive through the Old Testament.
Yeah, thank you, Sumanji. So Ramesh, you want to take it from here?
Yeah. So then I go, okay, that's fantastic. I spent a lot of years in seminary. So if you want to do a deep dive through the Old Testament, we could do that. Let me ask you a question first, though. Have you started reading the Old Testament for yourself? They always seem to be offended when I ask this, with a look that says, what does that have to do with anything? Well, what does that have to do with anything? Great question. That has everything to do with anything. Why? Because if you lack the drive to start reading the Old Testament yourself, how in the world do you expect someone else to take you on a deep dive through it? Before others can lead you, you must learn to lead yourself. You need to own your own desires and ambitions. No one else can lead you any further than you're leading yourself. Have you experienced the frustration of trying to lead someone who is not leading himself or herself? A teenager, perhaps? It's maddening. As the adage says, I would much rather steer racehorses than carry racehorses. Steering a racehorse is exhilarating. Carrying a racehorse is exhausting. It's easy to blame someone for not leading you well. Resist that urge. Own your ambition and begin to lead yourself.
Great. So let me take up the last paragraph and then we'll wind up the session. So it is about faithful with little. The title is Faithful with Little. I have come close to having this quote by Tom Watson, former IBM CEO, tattooed on my body. Though that would be super wide, I'm sure. Nothing so conclusively proves a man's ability to lead others as what he does on a day-to-day basis to lead himself. We live in a time where anyone at any age from anywhere in the world can become famous. Have you noticed that? Yes, we all have noticed actually. It's kind of amazing. I love it and hate it at the same time. From eyebrows on flick to Anthony Davidson of Idea Kids fame, or the guy who won a talent show by flipping a water bottle in a single revolution and landing it perfectly on a table. Instant fame always feels like it is right around the corner. Any one of us is just one post away from going viral and landing ourselves on the weekend update on Saturday Night Live. That's pretty cool and pretty scary too. One thing that is going to viral, that is
That is not going viral.
not going to viral, is what you are doing to lead yourself. Is what you are doing to lead yourself. This is not going to be viral. I say this because it is not sexy, it is not newsworthy, it might not even be noteworthy, but it is definitely worthwhile. It is the discipline of the little things every time, little things. Every time you are on time, every time you tell someone you are going to email a file and you follow through. Every time you read something for your betterment, every time you finish a workout or a class, every single time you say no to the impulse buy at Costco, you are exercising something that will never go viral but is incredibly significant. Jesus was making a statement about stewardship when he said, whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. Very important line. But implicitly in what he's saying is that there is so much more at stake in how you are leading yourself than just you lead yourself. With the small choice you make when no one else is looking, with the small choice you make or I make when no one else is looking, when it is just you and God, you are proving or disapproving to Him and to yourself your future ability to lead others. Very, very important. When a younger leader tells me he is frustrated at not having a voice yet or not having influence yet, the answer I give him to continue to be faithful in leading himself well. To be faithful in leading himself well. You can never go wrong by making that decision. Yeah. So tomorrow, if at all we will continue the reading, then it will be here. From here, actually, some guests are here, and tomorrow and day after tomorrow, I'm not sure whether I'll be able to conduct, but I will try my best. Let's see. I'll inform anyway if I can't continue. And now let's discuss one or two lines as the main takeaway from today's session or from the today's discussion in the beginning, whichever you prefer. You can share your views.
Yeah.
So I like this line very much. Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. That means we have to be trustworthy in our smallest action. We cannot say that, okay, this is a very small thing and it can be ignored, and even though I can cheat myself or I can cheat others or something, is a very small thing, it is very insignificant. No, it is very clearly said, and it is very true also. If one is not trustworthy in the smaller things, then he is not trustworthy in the bigger things also, because the behavior reflects in the same way. So this,
And also to be trustworthy, to do the right thing when no one is watching also.
yes, this is also very, very important. And that time, actually, when no one is watching, actually God is watching anyway.
Yeah. From our heart.
We are forgetting that relationship. We are
Yeah.
thinking that no one is watching us. We are thinking
Mm.
that no, but God is. If we understand and if we can realize and be with that relationship, then definitely that would be the best way that we can do any work.
Yeah.
We can lead ourselves in the best possible manner when we know that it is not a human being who is watching, be it my boss or be it my colleague or be it the society. It is the supreme personality of Godhead who is watching, and
Yeah.
like based on my action, he is going to give the fruits of action. So this mindset will change. It will be a game changer. If and only if we can remember and keep this as a persistent, keep this persist in our memory. Generally, we tend to forget, right?
Yeah.
Yes. On our
I think
earlier page relating to the same, it was nothing go conclusively proves a man ability to lead others, what he does on a day-to-day basis to lead himself.
Yes,
yes.
this is also very important line. Nothing so conclusively prove a man's ability to lead others as what he does on a day-to-day basis to lead himself. Without leading himself or ourselves in the right way, we cannot lead others, and the other converse is also true.
Yeah, when I was young, I remember sometimes if I was given, I was good in my studies, and sometimes I'd be given positions of responsibility. And I remember my elders would, demonstrate. My grandfather was a landlord, so I remember when he spoke to different people, other elders, other adults in the family would look up to him because he was such a respected person, and everybody wanted to be in a position where they are also respected by others. So many people would say, "Oh, I belong to that household, landlord's household," but I realized that they did not have the leadership quality. So while the people were listening to them because they come from that house, but not because who they were as a person. So sometimes I remember I would also try to do that. And when I did that, I used to feel very like a fake person. I'm pretending to be somebody who's deserving of a lot of respect, but I haven't earned it myself. Now when I look at it through this filter of what they're saying, that you have to who you are when nobody is around. If you really are doing the right thing, then I think you become a channel of the divine, and that is what makes you feel strong. So it is not the lower identity. It is that you're doing a higher purpose for in the space of love and truth for the well-being of everybody, not for self-aggrandizement. You know, not for puffing up the self. So when we're doing it like that, then whatever we say and do in the future, when we actually are given a position of a leader, we're doing it not because it will make me feel, big, the little me, but it'll actually kind of do God's work. So then the Ramesh is not there anymore, getting in the way. And then it's very powerful when you're leading people, when you're given that position and you lead in a humble manner, but with a higher objective for everybody's well-being.
Right.
Yes, in our families also we see that many family issues get sorted with some wise person who leads all.
Very true. Yes. And we have to be that for every family. We have to really become the channel of the divine, that wise person, because every family needs now that wisdom, the divine love and truth.
Yes, yes.
So many families are breaking up, so it is really very important. I'm beginning to realize that even at every death, the relative's death, so many people are lost. They don't even, they're stuck in their own world. They're feeling sad their loved one is gone. But to put it in the right perspective, to have somebody who can tell them with love and truth, to comfort them, and also to support different family members to lead their own families, that itself is a need of the hour, because we have forgotten our own samskaras and
Yes,
the
very
parampara.
true.
Yeah.
So, great. So, thank you all for the discussion, and then we will again meet in the next session to continue from here. The next will be the game plan. So we'll be knowing about the game plan. I'm planning to start a new book from 1st of June about how to focus and how to maintain our attention for a longer period, because that is so critical, and that is the demand of the time. And
Maintain our attention, you're saying, for a longer period.
sorry,
Maintain our attention, you said, isn't it?
attention span,
Oh, that's
focus,
very good. Yeah, it's very good.
very important.
Yes.
I know that we could not complete it. We definitely cannot complete this book by then. But yes, we can always come back to it once we complete the other one, because that is the one book. A longer time also makes it little monotonous. So let's see
Oh,
how it
okay.
goes.
Oh, you were saying you want to stop this book, and next week you're going to start that book, is it?
Yeah, because the rate at which we are completing 2 to 3 pages per day, this will take a very long time to complete. Maybe I will share the main points, the like I'm sharing these actionable points and summary of this book, and we will implement, and then we'll move to the new book.
Okay. Okay, Bikash bhai. Thank you. It was very nice today. I really liked it.
Thank you.
All the
Thank
things
you,
that we all
Vikash ji.
discussed.
Thank you,
Thank
Ramesh
you.
ji.
Thank you,
Thank
Suman
you.
ji. Yeah. Thank you,
Bye.
Bikash bhai. Oh, Shanti.
Om Shanti.